and suddenly there was light.
History dates back to the Anglo-Saxon period.
This an image of Bishop Odo I, from Baier on the left, giving Swindon to his brother on the right. King William in the middle.
In 1554, clothier John Winchcombe founded a free grammar school in Cricklade Street, in Swindon, which helped to attract skilled workers to the town. Swindon. In the 17th century, Swindon became a centre for wool production. And
Christ Church in Swindon, designed by George Gilbert Scott and consecrated in 1851, is a Grade II listed church, built in the style of the late 13th century, replacing the earlier Holy Rood Church. Opened in 1854, the Old Town Hall, this was designed by the same people that planned Christ Church. Robert and William Whitworth were commissioned to survey a route for a canal, allowing coal to be shipped from the Somerset coalfields to the towns of Wiltshire. The canal started to be dug in 1806, and opened in 1810. The Wiltsbarks thus became a link in the chain of canals, providing a transport route between the West Country and the Midlands, situated just over 3 miles to the southeast of the town. It takes its name from its main feature, a reservoir originally built to provide water for the canal. The reservoir formed a 70-acre lake, built in 1822 by diverting the River Cole. Its primary purpose was to provide water for the canal, and it remained outside the borough of Swindon until the borough's expansion in 1928. It was changed into a pleasure park, and a wooden diving board was added. Sir Daniel Gooch. He trained in engineering with a variety of companies, including a period with Robert Stevenson and Company in Newcastle upon Tyne as a draftsman. At the age of 20, he was recruited by Isambard Kingdom Brunel for the Great Western Railway, under the title Superintendent of Locomotive Engines, taking office on 18th of August 1837. Rail lines differed in width depending on the size of the mine. It was easier pushing a basket on wheels on a railway line. Brunel convinced Daniel Gooch it would be a smoother ride when travelling at speed. Daniel Gooch to plan a map to start in London and end in Bristol, stopping halfway there in Swindon. He settled on piece of land 3 miles north of the old town and called it New Swindon. The reason he chose Swindon was it was near a canal which ferried coal from the Somerset coalfield to keep people in Old Town warm. In 1842, Swindon became a junction, linking the Cheltenham Union Railway. There was a link between Swindon Newtown, Bristol and Gloucester. There was also a circular link to Swindon Old Town. At Gloucester, Cheltenham and Swindon used engine sheds to overhaul their engines. Just south of Old Town Station, there was a large plot of land used for railway sidings, where the engines could have the burnt coal removed. This was known as coke and refreshed with new coal. They gave that away free to poor in the town who wanted it. William McElroy was an Irish draper who moved to England, where he opened his first store on Regent Street, Swindons, in 1875. The store was purpose-built as a department store with a grand clock and plate glass frontage. The business grew, with William's brother-in-law James Wheeler and son Ewart joining the business, and 22 branches were opened up across England and Wales, amongst them Bristol, East Grinstead, Kirkby and Ashfield, Minehead, Stroud, Portsmouth, and most famously Oxford Road in Reading. The Oxford Road store was opened in 1903 and was known as the Crystal Palace of Reading because of its 2,000 feet of plate glass windows and employed over 1,000 people. The McElroy family had strong connections with Reading, with William McElroy being the mayor, as well as donating land to form McElroy Park. During the First World War, McElroys were given an order by the War Office for 45,000 beds. During the 1930s, the Grand Ballroom was added to the Swindon store, with the chandeliers and panelling coming from the cruise liner Mauretania. Stars who performed there included Diana Dors and the Beatles, 1962. McElroy's in Swindon closed its doors permanently in 1998. The store, owned by William McElroy, was a prominent department store in Swindon for over a century, starting in 1875. The closure was announced on January 13, 1998, and the store ceased trading in May of that year. In the late 19th century, Lewis Haslam, a Lancashire mill owner and politician, began to link the partnering of holes and warmth, and with two medical colleagues, began experimenting with aeration, trapping air within the warp and weft of fabric, and set up a factory just opposite the Great Western Railway factory in Swindon. John Arkell, 1835–1923, was an English clergyman and a rower who won silver goblets at Henley Royal Regatta. Arkell was born in Boddington, Gloucestershire, and educated at Pembroke College, Oxford, where he was an oarsman. He rowed for Oxford in the boat race in 1857, 1858 and 1859. Oxford won in 1857 but lost in 1858. Arkell succeeded Edmund Warre as OUBC president and implemented his idea of trial eights at Oxford in the autumn of 1858. Oxford won the 1859 boat race when Arkell was stroke. In 1859, Arkell also partnered Warre to win silver goblets at Henley Royal Regatta, beating A.A. Casamajor and James Payn in the final by 4 lengths. Arkell took holy orders and was at Manningtree, then Boxted, Essex, and then Portishead, Somerset. He became rector of St. Ebbe's Church, Oxford. Arkell married Sarah Elizabeth Harwood at Marylebone in 1860, and they had 4 boys, Thomas, Charles, John and Henry, and 2 girls, Gertrude and Syringa. He started a microbrewery in 1843 from his kitchen table, which was in the farmhouse that they now use as their offices. That's where it began, and the success sort of blossomed. He did that for about 20 years until 1861, where he then invested heavily in the brewery side of it and built himself the tower-steamed brewery we still use today. Arkell's success was partly due to the growth of Swindon at the time. In 1861, Isambard Kingdom Brunel chose Swindon as the site of his works on the Great Western Railway, developing Swindon into a bustling industrial city centre, then to distribute their beers locally, starting from their nearest, the Kingsdown Inn, the Clifton, the Rolling Mills, and the Rifleman. Arkell's brewery primarily focuses on selling its beers within a 50-mile radius of its brewery. They also have a significant network of nearly 100 pubs spread across Wiltshire, Gloucestershire, Berkshire, Oxfordshire and Hampshire, making them a regional brewery. In 1935, the diving board was replaced with a 33-foot-high concrete multi-level structure in an Art Deco style which has been praised by English Heritage and is still in place, although swimming in the lake has been prohibited since 1958, as a diver lost his life, being tangled in the weeds. The structure was given Grade 2 listed protection in 2013. Restoration by Swindon Borough Council in 2022, at a cost of around £100,000, included reinstatement of the handrails. There are many places to go shopping, eating, and places where you can enjoy the great outdoors. There are also many events and festivals throughout the year. It is well connected via its transport links, and it has many excellent schools, so it is a great place to live for fairs where you can enjoy the great outdoors. There are also many events and festivals throughout the year,